Hello there folks, welcome back to my little vlog here. My name is Frank. How are you doing today? Welcome along. We are just a little bit busy at the moment here. We have got to finish up feeding up the cattle. There we go. Just disengage the PTO here. There we are. It is another kind of misty murky spring morning here, if I'm honest. Not the finest we've ever had down in Meadow Grove, but the weatherman has reliably informed me that it's going to burn away, and so we'll wait to see if he's right or not. And then if he is, we'll praise him. If he's not, we'll curse him to the ground. But we've got a busy day of things we need to be cracking on with. We're just going to quickly knock this back into the barn behind me here. As always, in about 20 minutes time I'm going to head off and sell some milk. I take that down to the depot. So the varmint right now is just filling up the milk tanker there. That's good. That's perfect. We're just going to pop out here though. We need to just go and disconnect the diet feeder because I'm going to shuffle a few things around in the yard. That's ideal. And we'll jump back in. Oh, we'll shut that because we're going back through the buildings. Now we need to go and move the water bowser. For those of you who may remember last time out, we had a quick look at the new system we've got installed. I'm going to have to remove this now. I think we are all full. Oh, we've got quite a nice amount of milk in here. That'll be good. Get that sold off, make a little bit of extra money. Not much though, because the price still isn't kicking up quite how I'd like it to. But it will. It will come back, I'm sure. No, did I move that out of the way sufficiently? Yes, I did. Splendid. So we're just going to shift the water tanker because it's in our way a little bit around the corner there, and we want to just make sure that we can get good access around the back there at the moment because we're going to be bringing in a few more cattle in the next coming days. So, well, it's just blocking things up and making the place look untidy. So we're just going to sit around here. And whilst we're here, actually, I do think we're going to have to top the cattle's water trough a little bit. And the great thing about the new system we've installed as well, so as you can see there, currently our water level is 30%, so we just go up to here. Oh, too far. Turn on the tap, and what that does is, as the tap is turned on, we have a little trundle around the corner here. You'll see that we do have a couple of water pipes on the trough here, and they've just turned off there. You may have just noticed. They have an auto shut-off system, so when the water level gets to a certain level, they cut off. So these ladies are nice and happy, and so am I. So that's great. We can just stop this. But as a direct result of installing this, we don't need to have this tanker here. So we're going to just go and run this up down the track, I think. We'll just get that shut. That's lovely. And yeah, we've got a little storage Dutch barn just down the track here. We're going to stick this in. Keep it out of the way, and but keep it close enough to hand if we do need it. It's always good just to keep the housekeeping up to date. There's quite a bit of stuff in here. We may just turn around and stick it into there, I think. So how are you all doing? Hope you're all very well. Welcome along. Like I say, we've got lots to do today, so we'll be jumping around a little bit, but you know, this is just a day in the life really, so you'll get to see what's going on. Spin it around, that's lovely. So once we sold our milk, I got the ploughing done yesterday for the maize. We're going to be drilling in the coming days. Need to just check with the contractor to see if he's ready to go for that one. I think it's going to be tomorrow now. It did rain a little bit yesterday, so I couldn't get on with the power harrow to tidy that all up. But we'll manage. We'll find a way. We'll get it done today. It didn't rain too much, so it's just a little bit of moisture on the surface. But it shouldn't prevent us from getting in today. We'll straighten it up a little bit. Lovely. Excellent stuff. So the idea being, hopefully today we'll get in and we'll work that field over there, we'll get it ready, and then the contractor can come in tomorrow and just do his thing, and we won't have to worry about him, we'll just leave him. That'd be great. We are going to have to go and we're going to be, I'm just finalising purchasing some hay as well, so we might have to go pick that up because we have run out of hay. And I'm going to need some, we are unable to give our sufficient kind of diet feed to our cattle at the moment because we just don't have any hay or much fodder left to go at, so we've only got silage at the moment, which is not ideal. Now the cattle are being turned out onto the grass there, but the grass still hasn't quite grown as much as we'd like, so there's not as much nutrients within the grass for them to eat at the moment. Oh, and I'm going to put the straw better on here for when we get back. It's a good idea. Tuck ourselves in around this corner. There it is. Alright. And we'll shut that, we don't need that open anymore, that's perfect. So, all that's left for me to do now is just trundle on down to the depot, take this milk away, get this sold, and then we'll come back to you as soon as we're done. So this shouldn't take us too long. You guys have already been on the journey with me, you don't need to see all this again. But yeah, we will get ourselves down there, and then I've got a few little errands to do, but then we're going to be probably heading off to go pick up the power harrow, and yeah, we'll go and work the land down again a little bit more, so we'll catch you then. Welcome back, everybody. Now, the inquisitive amongst you may wonder what in the world we're doing, and you probably have every right to actually. We are doing a little bit of pruning. Now, just want to make sure I'm in a good place there. No, we'll go for the yard. There's a few trees along here that have some particularly high branches on, and we're just not quite able to get underneath with a full load of straw or a lorry of any description, really. So, what we've done is we just slowly, if you're a health and safety executive as well, look away now, please. Would be my request as we hover into our bucket here. We're just doing a little bit of pruning. Now this might get a little bit loud. Just cut off. Lovely stuff. That's one down. So what that's going to allow, put my chainsaw away again. I'm just going to have to slowly climb down. Whoa, and jump. Excellent. That's just going to mean that we can get a trailer through here actually. We're going to have to do a little bit more on this side. But yeah, that one was particularly low hanging, just meant that even if a trailer had 2 bales high stacked on it, it was just not going to get through. We've got some more hay arriving in the next day, so we need to make sure we can get through that. I think they're okay. These ones are coming out a little bit, but they're certainly not impeding too much, so I can live with those. That's good, so we'll jump back in. And we're done, you never saw a thing. We'll sneak our way out of here before anyone asks any questions. There's my hazard lights now, I suppose. Yeah, because we're going to bring in a trailer full of hay, and I can just pull into this lay-by here, we'll get it unloaded, but that was causing us a little bit of an issue there. And we'll leave the bucket on as well, because we're going to have to come into here and tidy up the shed pretty quickly. Take it back, and perfect. Alright then, we'll leave her there. And that's this morning's errands done, really. Lovely stuff. So we've got everything else sold off. We got all that done nice and quickly and nice and early. We are running quite low on on silage bales though. That stuff there may last us. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Ooh, we might get 4 days out of that at the very most. If we stretch it. So that's not ideal. But anyway, we're going to go and head down to the sheep farm, where today we're going to be picking up some of our we're going to pick up our power harrow. We kept the old girl. She's not a very new power harrow, but we don't really need it for very much. So the nice new shiny ones from the arable operation we sold because it was worth more. Get my beacons on. That's lovely. Don't need that on. Up we go, up we go. So we'll head on down, and then yeah, we're going to go and just start to work over this land, just see how it goes. Shouldn't take us too long here. It's only a small field, but it does need to be worked over at least once before we get the contractor in. Okay, that's perfect. So I should probably take this opportunity to welcome all of the new subscribers along. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for subscribing. If you are new, I'd like to do something where I kind of figure out where you're all from and where you're watching from. So do let me know down below where you're watching, what you're getting up to. If you are working on Meadow Grove as well, I'd love to know what's going on there. So yeah, do let me know. That'd be fantastic. This channel is growing nicely, and it's incredible. Little old me here in Meadow Grove never thought that would have happened. So it's quite stunning. Over the moon with how it's growing, and nice to hear that you're all enjoying my little ramblings and musings as I drive around here. I'm not normally in the tractor too much, so it's a nice pleasant change and keeps me occupied. Okay, that was a bit of a bump. So just we'll swing around this corner and we are in here somewhere. Okay, so we should be just in here. Yeah. So this is it. This is just 3 meters wide. It's an old Amazon. It used to be used kind of like a front press, really. So we used to hook onto those. The linkage at the back there against the wall, and then the shaft would come through the back of the over the packer roller. But because we don't need anything too big or too often, we thought we'd keep hold of this one, and it'll do a grand job. This is the old girl that we yet to bring out. We'll get round to here at one stage, hopefully sooner rather than later. But yeah, we'll just sneak our way into that shed, he says, and we'll get this picked up. Now, I can't remember which way I went in to get this, so I'm just going to hope and pray that this way will work. We should be doing okay. I took the weight off the front because that does give me an extra kind of couple of feet to work in, which is a good decision judging on the looks of things here. There we go, we've got it. Lovely. Forward a little bit. That might do it. Okay, so that should be us all hooked up there. I might just pull it forward so we don't lift it into the wall. There we go. Perfect. Now, how am I going to get out of here? Excellent stuff. There we go. Ideal. So, let's get started. We'll head on back up to the field there. We're going to just go straight into it and get a start this morning. I want to work it over, break the top off. There's a bit of a breeze in the air and the sun's due out later on, so if we break that top off there, any moisture that was caused from the rain we had yesterday should be kind of pulled up and dried out really, which is what we need. So yeah, and then hopefully I'm aiming for maybe, I don't think it'll be tomorrow, maybe the next day we'll get a contractor in and he needs to come and drill it all. Shouldn't take him too long. Get up the hill there, up, up, up. This main road is really quite busy, but the minor roads, the back roads, never are. It's quite surprising. Let's creep up that way. Okay, this is a nice little hamlet here we have in Meadow Grove. It's not too many people. Keeps it quite nice, makes sure you know who's around and what's going on, so there's a good little community vibe there. Do really appreciate that. It keeps out a lot of mischief around the farm, which is much needed. Okay, and in we go. So before we go any further, let's go and have a look at the job I made, see if it looks as good as I remember it did yesterday. Okay, so as you may remember, we spread the small amount of muck we had, we spread on the far end here. Probably got up to about where I'm standing actually. So all of this was covered. And then yeah, so it's actually turned over really nicely. It's ploughed over very well. Look how straight I was. Nice arrow straight furrow there without GPS as well. God, I'm some driver. But yeah, so it's all ploughed over very well. It's a little bit heavy in places and it's a little bit wet still. But that'll break down quite nicely as we progress. All in all though, it looks very good. Looks very good. There are a few little pieces here that we've missed, but we'll work those over with the power harrow. That's just where some of the trash didn't quite turn over, I think. I'm not a master ploughman by any stretch, but yeah, that'll do. That looks pretty good for what we need. And it needs to be broken up a few times and worked through anyway. God, looks like there's a mist coming in now. So yeah, we'll get on with that and we'll get it worked over, and we should come up looking nice and fresh. Okay, so everything seems to be set up alright. We're going to just straighten out this little edge again here, see if it works properly, and see if we need to make any adjustments to the top link or anything like that. We should be good. Let's go back here a bit. Back into the corner, get started off properly. Alright, and we're good to go. Excellent stuff. It is really starting to burn off a little bit now, slowly but surely. There's clearly there's not too much moisture in the soil because there's a little bit of dust there, which is nice to see. It's going to take probably a little bit less time to work down in this case, but we're just going to square this edge back off one more time and then we'll be good to go. And like I say, the rest of the field probably shouldn't take too long to do, even for a man of my limited expertise behind the wheel. Shut my door though, keep the dust out. So another news around the farm there, we have got a few different things happening shortly. On a small scale, there's obviously some more hay coming in. We had to buy a little bit more hay, so that's going to be arriving in the coming days, just to keep us going until our own grassland is available and ready to be worked on. Disappointing we had to buy it because it's quite expensive, but we were kind of left with limited options. Elsewhere, the vet is coming into town very soon to do some TB testing, which is going to be a bit of a nervous time, but it's something we cannot avoid and we have to do. So fingers crossed everything is good, but we just have to get in there and run the tests, and then the vet comes back a week later and we'll analyse the tests and see how we look. So that's coming up. I hate that time of the year, but there's not a lot else we can do. Aside from that, we are mainly focusing on our program development really. So increasing the head of cattle is primary goal. Right now we're floating around 125, which is very nice. I'd like to maybe get up to 130, 140 in the next few months. but I'm just looking for a different bloodline of cattle, to be honest. Bring in some different genetic lines, which would be always good for our breeding further on into next year, year 2, year 3. So that's going to be one area of focus and one area of attention. Oh, lovely job, very nice. And yeah, after that, I think next week you're going to see in a tractor even more, is we have to do some fertilizer spreading onto our grassland, give it another little kick. And our crops, our spring crops, are going to need some looking after as well. Although I might see if I can get someone in to come and give us a hand with that, because it's going to be at the same time as the testing, so we might have to get someone to come and operate a machine for me so I can get away and spend some time with the vet. That is where the priorities lie after all. And somehow in between all of this I'm going to go down and see a friend next week, I think. Take a little bit of time away from the farm, so that'll be interesting. I might document it as we travel around, we'll see. Just see how it all occurs and how it all pans out. There we go, this tractor's good, but it's a little bit sluggish when it's coming up and around the bends and turning on the field ends. Excellent. So I think we'll just keep plugging away. Shouldn't take us too long to do here. Hopefully we'll get it finished long before I have to milk the cattle this afternoon and then feed them again. We'll probably be doing that about 4 o'clock, so we should get this done by lunchtime really. That'll be nice, get another job ticked off out the way. Missing a bit, need to get a bit closer to the end there. There we go, Frank. That's better. Okay, so we will just keep pushing away with this, and then we'll come and have a little chat once it's all done. But at the moment, it's looking good from the tractor seat at least. What I'll do, we'll just have a quick stop here, actually go and have a look at it, see what we think. I just like getting out the tractor really, having a wander around. That's working well alright. It's knocking all the tops off very well actually, working it quite nicely down into a bit of a fine looking tilth really, so that should be grand. I don't think we'll have to work it down again. I was thinking I might have to come across it at a different angle, but it's looking good. It looks like we won't need to think about that. So overall it's looking very, very pleasing. Excellent news. Alright, so what we'll do, we're going to leave this here for now. It's just been a little bit of a short one, but there's a few different updates, and essentially at the moment just a lot of me sitting on the tractor seat working away. So we'll leave this here for now. Once again, thank you very much for sticking with me with my little rambles. I hope you have enjoyed them. If you have, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe, and we will see more of me, Frank, and some of my friends in the not too distant future. But until then, thank you very much. Don't forget to stay safe, enjoy what you're doing. But most importantly, on this misty spring day on Meadow Grove, happy farming.